Dinar Shift. We bring you an urgent and in-depth financial report focusing on the fundamental developments within Iraq's economy, the long-anticipated dinar reform process, and the critical announcements anticipated in the pivotal month of December 2025. This is a crucial moment for anyone tracking the nation's progress, as complex changes are being rolled out that will reshape the country's monetary landscape and its standing in the global financial community. We will be meticulously breaking down all facets of this story, from the strategies governing its national currency and the vital role of its gold reserves to the profound impact of volatile oil markets, and what the upcoming policy shifts could mean for financial stability and growth in the region. The current economic climate in Iraq is under an intensive spotlight as the government and central bank meticulously work through a comprehensive agenda of monetary reforms designed to solidify the nation's financial base. A significant benchmark in this process is the forthcoming review by the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, an international body that rigorously assesses countries' compliance with global anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing standards. This assessment, which is tentatively slated for the beginning of 2026, holds the potential to dramatically alter Iraq's perception among global financial institutions, making it a key indicator of its modernization efforts. While the successful completion of the FATF review is not the sole determinant for immediate monetary adjustments, it acts as a powerful signal of Iraq's commitment to aligning its financial regulations with the highest international standards. Many economic analysts are closely monitoring the situation, suggesting that a positive outcome, where Iraq is removed from various watch lists, would naturally lead to a significant increase in trust and confidence among foreign investors and international banks. These aren't merely administrative adjustments, they carry direct material consequences for the value of the national currency and the ease with which Iraq can conduct unrestricted global trade and commerce. The underlying structure of these reforms is strategically interconnected with broader economic goals, encompassing not only direct currency adjustments but also essential shifts in monetary policy aimed at achieving lasting national economic stabilization. A core element of this strategic overhaul involves high-level consultations and collaboration with international partners. Of particular note is the involvement of a U.S. envoy, who was recently assigned a formal mandate to assist Iraq in addressing its critical economic and security objectives, highlighting the seriousness and global relevance of the nation's reform drive. A recent high-profile meeting saw this international envoy receive detailed briefings on Iraq's primary concerns, including immediate stability and long-term monetary management goals. Although the precise classified details of the instructions and strategies discussed were not made public, the fact of this deep engagement underscores a robust and necessary coordination between Iraqi financial authorities and external, experienced financial advisors. The presence of such seasoned international guidance is deemed invaluable as Iraq moves closer to implementing reforms that will have a direct impact on the lives of millions of its citizens and a vast number of international stakeholders. This level of diplomatic and economic cooperation is vital, emphasizing the critical role that international partnerships play in supporting Iraq's complex recovery and ambitious financial modernization plan. Both local citizens and global investors are observing these interactions with intense scrutiny, eager to gauge how the infusion of global best practices and expertise will influence the eventual timing and overall efficacy of the financial reform agenda. The collaboration aims to ensure that when major decisions are executed, they are built upon a foundation of shared knowledge, and international support, thereby maximizing the chances for a sustainable, positive outcome. Despite the pervasive public discourse and significant speculation regarding immediate, dramatic shifts in the currency's value, financial experts are unified in their assessment that a comprehensive, full-scale revaluation of the dinar is unlikely to materialize within the current year. The continuous stream of public discussions, official press releases, and extensive media coverage should be understood not as precursors to an instant rate change, but rather as a deliberate effort to prepare both the general public and the financial markets for future, systematic reforms. These structural changes are being phased in methodically as the necessary economic preconditions and market stability are secured. Patience, therefore, remains a critical virtue for anyone following the dinar closely, as the responsible authorities have made it explicitly clear that their top priority is establishing secure economic stability and achieving robust policy alignment before any major currency move is contemplated. It is crucial to be able to accurately distinguish between the verified official reform strategies and the often unfounded market rumors that tend to proliferate during periods of intense anticipation. The national policy is being formulated and executed with a precise, step-by-step approach, ensuring that any eventual changes to the dinar's valuation are fully sustainable and firmly supported by a credible, strong national economic framework. By committing to this deliberate and steady course of action, the Iraqi government aims to protect its national economy from undue market volatility while simultaneously reinforcing and enhancing global confidence in its financial system's integrity. Central to the design and execution of Iraq's current monetary reform strategy is the influence of a highly respected former central bank leader and economist. This figure has consistently championed the overarching goal of restoring the full strength of the dinar and, crucially, securing the country's financial independence on the global stage, articulating a vision that extends far beyond simple numerical adjustments. This leading voice in the financial reform movement has consistently stressed that monetary reform is a complex undertaking that involves significantly more than GAUs. Redenominating the currency. The strategy encompasses detailed, long-range planning, meticulous management of the country's strategic gold reserves, the critical stabilization of volatile oil revenues, and the enforcement of financial policies that are both robust and realistic in their scope. While the media may occasionally present conflicting or confusing signals, the core mission remains resolutely focused on building a strong, dependable, and globally credible monetary system that can withstand external shocks. In pursuit of this goal, national officials are actively developing and implementing sophisticated mechanisms specifically designed to shield the currency from disruptive volatility. These tools include the strategic use of managed floats and the implementation of real, effective exchange rates that better reflect underlying economic realities. The overarching objective is to engineer a framework that allows the dinar to gradually and sustainably regain its strength without causing sudden, destabilizing market disruptions, thereby enhancing Iraq's financial reputation and credibility throughout the international community. The parallel developments occurring within Iraq's vital oil sector are equally significant and must be analyzed to fully grasp the nation's financial prognosis. The recent and significant drop in global oil prices, partly attributed to a reported peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia, has introduced a considerable challenge for Iraq, whose national budget is overwhelmingly funded by oil revenue. Current market prices, hovering around $59 to $61 per barrel, are critically below the estimated $84 per barrel break-even point required to adequately fund the Iraqi government, substantial financial commitments and operating costs. This critical disparity between the revenue generated and the national expenditure requirements has serious ramifications, potentially straining the government's ability to finance essential spending, impacting crucial social programs, and placing a palpable downward pressure on overall economic stability. The situation serves as a powerful reminder of the deep interconnectedness between complex global geopolitical events and the immediate financial health of oil-exporting nations like Iraq. Facing an oversupplied global oil market and enduring external economic pressures, the necessity for highly disciplined fiscal planning has become an inescapable and paramount priority for Baghdad's economic planners. Both internal stakeholders and international market observers are intensely monitoring how these ongoing fluctuations in the price of crude oil might impact Iraq's carefully constructed, short-term and long-term economic development strategies. In direct response to the challenging fiscal pressures imposed by the oil market, Iraq's central bank and its senior economic strategists are actively exploring a range of strategic measures aimed at stabilizing the national currency and reinforcing its value proposition. One such widely discussed initiative involves the symbolic and practical act of removing zeros from the dinar to streamline transactions and bolster public confidence in its purchasing power. This proposed currency adjustment is complemented by a concerted plan to refine the real effective exchange rate and introduce significantly more transparent accounting and financial reporting mechanisms. These combined actions are intended by the authorities to make the currency more functional and practical for everyday domestic use, while simultaneously enhancing its viability and acceptance within the demanding sphere of international trade. Furthermore, these measures are underpinned by a strategic plan to substantially increase the national gold reserves, providing a tangible, universally recognized asset backing for the currency's valuation and long-term stability. Through this coordinated and multifaceted effort, Iraq is striving to strike a delicate and necessary balance between maintaining immediate currency stability and ensuring long-term market adaptability. Citizens and investors are repeatedly advised to remain vigilant and responsive only to official government pronouncements, as the implementation of these strategic measures will directly influence the dinar's performance in both daily financial dealings and highly competitive global exchanges. This shift is part of a broader commitment to fiscal discipline and transparent financial management. In a move to further reinforce its long-term financial security, Iraq is aggressively seeking to leverage its diverse natural resources and move beyond its heavy reliance on oil. The government is actively developing non-oil revenue streams through targeted investments in key sectors, such as national infrastructure, a burgeoning tourism industry, and strategic industrial development projects. This comprehensive approach to economic diversification is essential, as it reduces the country's vulnerability to the external shocks and extreme market volatility that inevitably accompany dependence on a single commodity. This diversification strategy aligns directly with established global best practices for emerging economies, where an over-reliance on a single revenue source often results in cyclical instability and limits long-term growth potential. Experts reviewing the situation have praised Iraq's comprehensive blueprint, which strategically combines fundamental monetary reform, the systematic expansion of its gold reserves, and widespread economic diversification. This model is seen as a proactive, forward-thinking approach to modern national financial management, setting the stage for a more resilient future. The timing of the anticipated financial announcements in December 2025 has understandably generated immense interest and expectation among both the investment community and the general Iraqi public. Official indications suggest that specific, new financial mechanisms will be unveiled, all designed to significantly enhance market liquidity, improve the dinar's valuation metrics, and strengthen the overall national financial infrastructure. While absolute specific details are being carefully withheld until the official release, the general consensus is that these initiatives will establish the fundamental groundwork for a more robust and expertly managed monetary environment. Officials have been careful to emphasize that these December measures are only one part of a much larger multi-stage blueprint and must be understood within the context of the government's overriding commitment to long-term economic stability. By painstakingly coordinating planned policy changes with real-world market conditions, Iraq is actively working to build and cement greater confidence among its local populace and its international financial partners. Consequently, observers are paying extremely close attention to these upcoming developments, seeking concrete clarity on how they will influence dinar-related investments and the nation's broader economic trajectory in the years to come. Amidst the complexities of these sweeping changes, the necessity for clear and honest public communication has become increasingly vital for maintaining market trust. Financial analysts stress the absolute imperative of clearly separating genuine verified policy actions from the vast array of speculative reports and rumors that circulate, as even well-meaning misinformation has the power to create unnecessary anxiety and potential confusion within the sensitive financial markets. Iraqi authorities are making concerted efforts to provide citizens, investors, and traders with unambiguous, factual guidance, ensuring a shared and accurate understanding of the ongoing process. This unwavering commitment to transparency and communication is viewed as paramount for maintaining public trust, particularly when keeping all stakeholders informed through official, verifiable channels. By providing clear and regular updates, Iraq hopes to ensure that everyone is aligned with the core objectives of the monetary reform and the associated fiscal responsibility mandates, thereby significantly reducing the potential for market disruptions caused by unverified claims or widespread public rumors. This open approach is a cornerstone of the broader strategy for economic recovery. Another indispensable component of Iraq's ambitious economic strategy involves a dedicated and expanding collaboration with international partners across multiple sectors. Foreign delegations are actively engaging with senior Iraqi officials to discuss and forge agreements covering extensive trade partnerships, cooperation in vital infrastructure projects, and city twinning initiatives that are specifically designed to unlock new, robust investment opportunities. Such international collaborations are engineered to directly bolster local economies, stimulate significant job creation, and facilitate the essential transfer of modern technology and specialized knowledge. By aggressively cultivating these essential international relationships, Iraq is strategically positioning itself to be perceived as a more reliable, stable, and attractive partner within the regional and global economic systems. These diplomatic and economic efforts also serve the dual purpose of strategically diversifying the country's revenue streams, thus further reducing its financial dependency on volatile oil exports and providing crucial support for long-term sustainable financial growth. FATF is driven by multiple economic engines. This global engagement is a deliberate move towards a more balanced national economy. Financial experts continue their intense scrutiny of the Central Bank of Iraq's (CBI) sophisticated strategies for active currency management. The bank is currently executing refined and multi-layered plans focused on continually increasing its gold reserves, diligently maintaining necessary market liquidity, and supporting exchange rate policies that accurately reflect prevailing economic realities. By deliberately approaching the process of monetary reform from a highly data-driven scientific perspective, as opposed to succumbing to the pressure of populist, short-term proposals, Iraq is effectively signaling a profound commitment to responsible and sound economic governance. Analysts universally agree that these structured steps are absolutely critical for methodically restoring genuine confidence in the dinar and ensuring that the implemented reforms are robust enough to be sustainable over the long term. The effective and skillful management of both the gold reserves and the associated currency policy framework will undoubtedly be the key determinant of Iraq's overall financial resilience and long-term stability in the challenging months ahead, serving as the core bedrock for future growth. The central bank's disciplined approach is a significant step toward fiscal maturity. In a parallel but equally critical effort, the government is carefully preparing specific mechanisms designed to expertly manage potential market reactions and firmly stabilize financial expectations across the board. By proactively anticipating potential volatility and implementing a system of managed floats, authorities believe they can adjust currency values in a controlled and predictable manner. This controlled approach is specifically intended to prevent the abrupt, sudden shocks that could severely disrupt the flows of commerce and foreign investment, thus safeguarding the fragile economic recovery. This harmonious combination of carefully managed currency adjustments, the strategic expansion of gold reserve management, and comprehensive fiscal oversight collectively reflects a meticulously coordinated, overarching strategy aimed at fostering deep, enduring economic stability. Stakeholders at every level, including commercial banks, private investors, and everyday citizens, are observing these crucial measures as they provide the clearest and most reliable signals about the dinar's prospective future performance and trajectory. This holistic method suggests a move toward disciplined, long-term economic planning. While the ongoing oil crisis presents significant short-term challenges, it concurrently provides a powerful impetus and a unique opportunity for Iraq to aggressively diversify and fundamentally strengthen its national economy. By strategically reducing its ingrained dependence on oil revenue as the sole financial pillar and channeling investment into alternative, high-growth, economic sectors, Iraq can forge a far more resilient and stable financial system for future generations. These essential diversification strategies encompass major infrastructure projects, vital initiatives in renewable energy, and strategic industrial expansion across multiple provinces, all designed to generate stable and predictable income streams that are independent of global oil markets. These measures deliver significant benefits far beyond mere currency stability. They also stimulate wider societal advantages, including essential job creation, the rapid advancement of technology adoption, and enhanced regional competitiveness for Iraqi businesses. Experts strongly suggest that this holistic, nation-building approach is not merely desirable but absolutely essential for achieving sustainable economic growth and securing long-term fiscal stability that benefits all segments of the population, marking a significant developmental milestone. Public anticipation surrounding the various upcoming financial announcements remains exceptionally high across the nation. Authorities have provided clear indications that new structural mechanisms will be unveiled in early December, all engineered to significantly improve financial management practices, reinforce the intrinsic strength of the national currency, and actively promote accelerated economic growth across all sectors. These critical initiatives are deeply intertwined with the broader monetary reform efforts and serve as a concrete testament to the government's unwavering commitment to implementing structured, strategic, and lasting policies rather than short-term fixes. Investors and citizens alike are consistently encouraged to focus exclusively on verified AFICI AL information and subsequent formal announcements, as these will provide the only genuine clarity regarding the precise direction of Iraq's economic and monetary future. The close and essential coordination between the central monetary authorities, senior government officials, and key international financial advisors remains absolutely critical to ensuring the ultimate success of Iraq's wide-ranging reforms. Every single component of the master plan, from the management of gold reserves and the stabilization of oil revenue to the specific currency adjustments and deepening international cooperation, is purposefully interlinked. By diligently maintaining this careful and necessary coordination across all government branches, Iraq is aiming to execute a set of reforms that are not only effective and sustainable, but also fully aligned with demanding global financial standards. Analysts firmly stress that this comprehensive, albeit gradual, approach is vital for strategically avoiding destabilizing shocks to the domestic market, and is the only certain way to ensure that the dinar can definitively regain its credibility in both the local and highly competitive international markets. T's measured pace is a sign of long-term commitment. A crucial, often overlooked element of Iraq's comprehensive reform strategy involves widespread education and dedicated public awareness campaigns. Authorities fully recognize the necessity of ensuring that citizens possess a clear and accurate understanding of the underlying rationale behind the significant monetary changes and the specific steps being taken to stabilize the national economy. By offering transparent, simple explanations and providing timely updates, Iraq can effectively build essential public trust and significantly reduce market uncertainty, fostering a sense of shared national purpose. These public awareness initiatives include clear guidance on the practical implications of currency changes, the direct impact of global oil price fluctuations on the national budget, and how the economic reforms will ultimately affect the daily lives and financial well-being of the population. Such efforts are paramount for ensuring that the public remains thoroughly informed, actively engaged, and fully supportive of the wider national financial reform agenda, turning skepticism into cooperation. The coming weeks represent an absolutely critical juncture for Iraq's entire economic trajectory, marking a period of intense financial activity and decision-making. Key financial announcements, combined with the ongoing, rigorous monitoring of unpredictable oil markets and crucial international developments, will collectively shape the country's entire monetary environment for the foreseeable future. The government's explicit and consistent focus on stability, transparency, and strategic, long-term planning has effectively positioned Iraq to navigate these complex challenges with a high degree of control and confidence. Citizens and investors must pay extremely close attention to the scheduled December updates, as these will provide vital, definitive insight into the practical implementation of the reforms and signal the true potential for any future, systematic currency adjustments. Ultimately, the broader perspective reveals a nation that is taking a cautious, yet powerfully determined approach to fundamental financial reform, by simultaneously addressing deep-seated issues related to currency management, the enhancement of strategic gold reserves, the painful reduction of oil dependency, and the expansion of international cooperation. Iraq is laying the groundwork for profound, long-term economic stability that is resilient and diverse. While a degree of uncertainty is inevitable in any financial overhaul of this magnitude, the structured, multi-year plan reflects a careful and deliberate consideration of both immediate domestic needs and the prevailing global economic realities, offering hope for a stronger, more secure dinar in the years to come.